All of you in one place together.
All of us together. We'll be their worst damn nightmare.
Is it gonna go bad, Ezekiel? Is this going to turn into something else?
You are the author of this night, Gavin. Its close shall be fashioned by your start.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Watching Sundays. The Walking Dead is back.
Yes.
The second half of Season 8 has begun with honor. This was
awesome.
It was an awesome episode.
This is awesome.
We had an emotional episode, but we also had a very action-packed episode, but not in a fast-paced action.
Yeah, I mean, the mid-season couldn't have kicked off in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was emotional, it was grounded, but there was a lot of tense and intriguing moments. The back and forth between the somber and the horror, I would say. Yeah. I guess Greg Nicotero had a really fun time filming this one because there was some horror sequences there that was very reminiscent of classic filmmaking. But amazing episode.
Absolutely. We get to say goodbye to Carl. Chandler Riggs, he's been a really great character for The Walking Dead so far. I mean, I think one of the more interesting aspects of his character is how he developed as someone who is growing up in this world. I mean, we have Judith and we have kids, in different seasons, but he's the one from the beginning. He's the one we get to see from practically childhood.
Yeah, I mean,
to where he is now.
I don't follow the comics, but I presume that he gets propped up as the heir to Rick's throne.
Yeah, he does,
so to speak. But I guess I feel like the showrunners are always pressured to do something or to kill somebody off every season. Somebody remarkable, somebody of note. Last season obviously we had Glenn, Abraham, and then over here
Sasha.
And over here it's Carl's turn. I really didn't see the reason why they had to do it, just for sake of impact or sake of some kind of shock value. But I mean,
okay, so I'll play devil's advocate. I think the showrunners were trying to find an angle. Shows like this that are based off of graphic novels and books, they're always subject to scrutiny when they deviate from source material or they're following the source material. And I think a lot of times they wanna escape from that trajectory of following the source material so closely that fans who read those novels and whatnot know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so we can avoid spoilers from here on out because this is it's totally divergent from the source material. And so Carl's supposed to live, but he's gone.
But the death
now.
of Carl, I would say, is probably the signal of Rick's rebirth.
Absolutely. When he was telling Rick, all the stuff that you did on the farm and in the prison and living with your enemies, that had a severe impact on Rick because he had turned into this person that shot first and asked questions later. And he was trying to, teach his dad to come back to the light because he was like, hey, I saved this guy. He's a doctor, coincidentally, which is a good thing for the survivors.
It's a new and important character.
Yeah.
Part of that survivor group. But speaking of coming back to the light, do you think Morgan is coming back to the light?
This was an interesting part of the episode.
This is one of the greatest parts of this episode.
Absolutely. So obviously Carol is on the warpath to get Ezekiel back, which, by the way, I know that you were in our previous episodes, you were kind of lamenting the departure of Shakespeare in the Park Ezekiel, but he was, spouting out
he
some
was
really,
back, baby. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite characters.
His quote in this one, "You are the author of this night, Gavin, and its clothes will be fashioned by your start."
I was like, yes! Give me back some Shakespeare.
Carol's trying to get back Ezekiel, and Morgan's joining her. And, what starts as Jedi Master Morgan for us in the beginning of the season, he's Darth Morgan now.
Yeah.
He's killing everybody. He's just double tapping them with that bow. And At one point, I was laughing because he's trying to like explain himself to Carol. I was like, I gotta do it, and Carol was like, I don't really care, bro. And then,
well, it was more like, you know, they could have found Henry, but she was like, well, it's not them I'm worried about.
but even then, at the very end of that sequence, when they got Ezekiel back and they were, and he was contemplating killing Gavin, Carol and Ezekiel ended up being the voice of reason.
Metal Gear Carol.
Yeah, we got Darth Morgan and Metal Gear Carol, and that little kid named Henry.
Yeah, that was a shock. And it was just like, I thought they would save Gavin. Like there was something there where I thought Gavin or like Morgan was just like, I gotta do it, and then like I actually thought that he was gonna be saved somehow.
Right.
And then, you know, just seeing Henry,
because like during that whole sequence, Ezekiel is trying to incept some kind of like seed into his mind, like you can be better, and you see it in his face that Gavin's like, maybe I can avoid death, maybe I can be something better, but you know.
Yeah, I really don't see any other way to go about it. Like, I think Gavin needed to die. But I thought he was gonna be saved because, you know, Morgan has to come back to the light somehow, right? Like Ezekiel's trying to do it, Carol's trying to pull him back. But I think the worst case scenario happens. Henry ends up doing it for him.
Yeah,
and I think Morgan is.
That's a
probably
really
in this
big
turmoil
thing
now.
for a kid to go through that. I mean, you know, when Carl's recounting his experiences to where that led him to where he was.
Yep.
Killed a kid that was disarming himself,
Yeah.
and so this kid has to live with what he's done.
Yeah,
and that's a traumatic experience. And so where does the survivors go from here?
I don't know.
They're obviously going to the hilltop.
Yeah, the hilltop.
Right?
They're all gonna regroup, and as Daryl said, we're gonna be their worst nightmare.
Exactly.
So,
I loved that quote. I think that was one of the best quotes of tonight's episode.
a faux pas that you pointed out
Right.
in this episode. I don't think it's a faux pas, but it might have been.
Okay, so in the scene where Carl is you know sharing his last moments with Rick and Michonne, they're on the right back window, right before they cut. There's something kind of like wandering in the
shot.
Yeah, in the shot. And I think it's a crew member. I'm not sure. I'll put it up on the screen for you to look at it. We also found out that the dream sequence was actually Carl's dream sequence, which is a big revelation. We all thought it was, you know, in Rick's head and he was thinking about greener pastures, but it was all Carl's vision. And at the end, we find out that he, in his dream, Negan is part of this whole community.
Everyone's part of it. It's like one big happy ending. Which is very idealistic in this type of world. I don't think it exists.
But I
don't think it exists.
I think that's what they're going for. I think that's where they're heading in this season, because with Rick seemingly going back to his old like angelic self, they're propping him up to be this kind of character beyond reproach, like this leader that will bring everyone together.
I don't know.
I think that's what they're aiming for. I don't think it's going to happen.
All of the tidbits, the teasers that I've been seeing, I'm really struggling to believe in that right now. Like, Negan has to die. Negan has to die.
Yeah, for sure. That's an opinion I have as well. He definitely has to
If
die.
it ends any other way, it's kind of like a cop-out.
They can have their Elysium, right? They just have to kill Negan to do it, right?
They can just do it in these dream sequences. That's fine.
All right. So Dwight Meter. Nothing. He was completely truthful. He betrayed Negan. He's all in with the survivors, and that's that. So we have no more Dwight Meter. What's our meter, man?
There's still a little bit of Dwight Meter, man. Like, come on, like.
All right, guys. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Did you like it? Was it the best episode so far? Let us know in the comment section below.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification for more stuff. And check out our other videos. We also cover The Magicians and more Walking Dead next week.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.